Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name is Lumin and today we are back in Dune Awakening once more. This time for the launch version of the game. Rise from survival to greatness and challenge the power of an Imperium in Dune Awakening, a multiplayer survival game on a massive scale. Survive the sandworm, craft your ornithopter, build a fortress and ascend to power on an open world Arrakis shared with hundreds of other players. Also, create and customize your very own Dune-themed character, which is obviously why we are here. If you'd like to do a deep dive to discover about Dune Awakening, you can find some links below. And while you're down there, you can also find a showcase video. I'm not going to include custom creations in this video. The video that I'll put down there will be chock full of them. You can go and check that out for some inspiration or for just a quick and dirty look at what's available in this character creator or what you can do with it. While you're down there, my links are there as well. My Ko-fi page, my Twitch channel, and all the rest if you want to support me and what I do. Finally, there will be timestamps. Use them, find what you're looking for, and leave satisfied. In this video, we're going to cover all the presets available, male and female customization, the class and background selection options, and much more. So, let's begin. The presets. I'm actually a massive fan of these. I think that this is probably, if I had to give sort of like an award for most improved with launch, I would say the presets, they rank top. They are just so much better than they were initially. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through them all at this zoom level, so you can just see them from a reasonable distance. This is sort of more what you would see in the game. When you see another character running by, when you see your character, just in general, this is the view you will have about this distance, depending obviously on how far they are. But you won't be like super up close and personal the whole time, so it's a good idea to see them like this. And again, I believe that the variety that they have here has just been cranked up massively. And I'm a big fan of that, because initially when we jumped in here, the first couple of times, I felt like there just weren't enough different styles here. And now they are covering every base possible. They're covering all the ethnicities, they're covering all the different types of characters, and I personally feel they're covering all the goodies that you'd expect them to cover for Dune. So all the different houses, I think they're called. I'm sorry, I'm not a big Duney. Is that what you call yourselves, you guys? I'm so sorry. But like, I think this is a great starting point, and I'm going to go through them one more time at this zoom level now. Because if you want to make like an Atreides character, a Harkonnen character, or like a Bene Gesserit or Fremen, did I cover that all? Did I hit the right marks there? I think I did. Then this is a great starting point, because you can come in here and you can find this guy that just like hulks above the screen size. You can come in here and you can choose any one of these, and they can be just that launching point for you to make something excellent. And legitimately, these are good characters. They look great, and they've got the variety to boot. So you pick the one you want here, you jump in. I will mention while we're scrolling through these that while the presets are awesome, and they are, as I keep mentioning, varied and interesting, it's important to note that they are actually just serve-in suggestions and start-in points and stuff like that. The options that are available in the character creator here are actually plentiful enough to make any of these characters. So if I jump in on the male body type, this guy right here, I can make that guy right there by just shifting things around. So don't think that this is a limiting factor. Don't think that this is a sort of set in stone point. But that's it for the presets. There's a lot of good stuff there. I mean, I personally think that I would say about 3 or 4 of these characters I would just select and go. That's it. I would just jump in. They are that cool. I personally wanted to start with this one right here. I just thought it was an excellent. And this is one of the new ones that they added. Fantastic. Like, absolutely fantastic. Now, before doing all the customization stuff, I'm going to show you the voices. I'll do this here at the start of the male customization, and I'll do it again at the start of the female customization. So, it's the first option. Listen up, see what you think. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like you're a Minecraft villager or something. There's really not very much there. It is what it is. Your character doesn't talk, okay? You're the silent protagonist. It is just the way that they handle things here. But that's the voices. We'll do that for the female side as well. There you go. All right. So moving on to the body options is one of the weakest points of this system. And that's not a terrible thing because the other points of the system are quite strong. So if you like measure it against that, yeah, I mean, it doesn't actually end up being that bad. But we're going to hide the attire here and you can look what the body looks like. Quite stacked, to be perfectly honest. The height slider, I'm quite happy with this. It's not a height slider though. It is a scale or size slider. Your character is not really getting taller, it's getting bigger. Like you can see the entire bulk and mass of the character is growing. Yeah. So it's a lot. It's like a full head of height or head and a half even that you can grow your character. And I think that's already quite impressive all by itself. The rest of this stuff, however, for me, is just not that great. So like I'll zoom in a little and I'll show you. I'm not going to say it's a lazy implementation of body options, but it's just not that robust. And now I say this coming from one of the other Funcom games that I thoroughly loved and enjoyed, Conan Exiles. So if you make your character big like this, it's big, but like it looks a little unnatural. It doesn't really make sense in the way that they did the proportions. And like even if you pull all of it max, it just doesn't look right. It's not natural. That's probably the right word, you know? It just looks weird. And I think that, again, referring back to Conan Exiles, they did a more thorough job there of making things just work better with the size sliders. It's okay. The body options are okay. Like, I'm not going to complain about it. It's fine. I think that you are most likely just best off leaving it on default. So, yeah, like you saw it now with the options maxed out. Here it is with it on the smallest. It's like, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. But for the most part, I'd say just leave it like this. Neck length, a pretty cool option, I think, for when you're making your Harkonnen characters. It's kind of, I'm using myself greatly with this one here. Okay, now skin tones. You have a good selection here, to be perfectly honest. There's good stuff. It goes from a lighter skin tone to a far darker skin tone. This has also sort of been touched on and improved a little bit over the course of development. We've actually seen this change, which is kind of cool. I would have liked a slightly darker dark, but overall I think it's more than enough. And then you got the two pale ones that are more often linked to the Harkonnen characters, I think. I don't always know exactly. But good skin tones, nothing more to say about that. The vitiligo slider over here, it is good. I mean, it's good that they added it. I'm always like, hell yeah, for inclusivity. It's cool, and I think it looks nice. I do believe it would have been cool if they had different sort of patterns? Do you call it a pattern? Yeah. Just to move it around a bit so everyone doesn't look exactly the same. But it's there, and it's an option if you like it, and that's cool. I mean, if they can add everything, all the different stuff, that's cool. We always like more options. Freckles, they look okay. It would have also been nice to control the, like, I mean, it's sort of like a, is it like petty? Would I say petty thing to say that I would like it just over the nose? Yeah, man, I'm using freckles as a, a stylistic choice. You know, it's not always like that in real life, but I'm making a fantasy video game character. Okay, sci-fi fantasy video game character here. Let me have my fun, alright? Now we're going to move on. Face type. This is where you're going to be picking the most important stuff, I suppose. You know, it might not be the most impactful, but it might be the most important. This is basically going to link up to all the different presets we had there. It'll give you your kickstart into the direction of the ethnicity that you like. And I think that it's a pretty decent selection. They've got nice options here. They cover all their bases, and I feel when you take these and then you combine them with the age slider, which I will also just say right now has been vastly improved for launch, I believe that the age slider looks a lot better than it did with the initial iteration of the character creation system. When you combine that with the age slider, which is right here, you can make some pretty cool looking characters, you know? You can actually, and I believe that this is one thing, so it's kind of weird to me, because this is one part where I believe they did a fantastic job making it look natural. It's excellent. Like, if you compare the young one here to the old one here, that's great. It's great. It really is. It looks good. The aging is done in a natural and believable way, compared to very much the body, which is the opposite of that. It's not believable or natural at all. But there you go. I like the age slider, let it be known. Head details, this is where we start with our other sliders. These are, look, I'll say that they are decent, and that's the word I will use. They are not great. I would say that they fall just short of, maybe we could say good. Some of them are good. It's just that while they work, a lot of them at the end of the day don't really have that much of an impact. So what's happened is, obviously, they are sort of somewhat limiting you with, let's say, a more realistic look on your character, where you can see things moving around, but a lot of the options just don't do all that much. And again, no shade for this, no shame for this. It's fine, because you don't want your game to look like a clown fiesta if you don't want your game to look like a clown fiesta. It's okay. It's fine, you know? It's a Dune game. It's serious business. Let's just not go too overboard with it, and that's okay. Because I do think, again, it's enough to make a cool-looking and unique-looking character. For the eye colors, I actually like these a lot, to be honest. The eyes in this game look nice. I think that the combinations that they have here are just excellent. Like, because you can get some nice, bright, vibrant colors here, and they're interesting. They look cool. And you can even get some that are very much not grounded in reality here. And then you can also take these, I personally like the blue ones, and then you can throw the sclera tint on there and make it black. That's cool. Again, it gives you a nice little demonic look. And it's good. Combine that with the eye options over here, and I would say you got yourself a winner, you know? There's the iris size, pupil size. And with this, they really do give you the maximum movement. The eye size overall, I always just go for the max here. I don't know, man. When I'm making characters, I go for the max. You can even be judgmental. You want to drink what? I love it. The eye angles here, eye height. This stuff. This is probably one of the winningest menus. It's got a lot of good stuff that can move around quite a bit, and it actually matters. Okay, nose details, also not bad, by the way. Also not bad. You change the nose size over here. As a nose enjoyer, I believe that this is more than enough. Although I think it could have been cool if there was like a nose, what could you say, template, you know? If you could take like all the noses from the other faces and just switch them around. Is that a weird thing to ask for? Yeah, man, I want nose templates in my game. I think it's a little weird, yeah. It's fine. I'm still asking for it, though. I mean, here I am. Game is released. People are playing, having fun. I'm in the character creator, man. So yeah, I'm going to ask for noses. Mouth details. Not a lot here. Relatively impactful. You can go pretty big on the mouth. The angle, that's sort of like, you know, they don't really let you smile because there isn't much to be happy about on Arrakis. So, so let's not be absurd here. You have to be realistic about these things. Smiling is not allowed, but you can do this, whatever this is. It's not a frown either, really. It's sort of halfway in between. I don't think they're big on emotions, but good enough. There you go. Skin blemishes. They always give you just this one to make your skin look slightly more natural. You can go all the way, be dirty, like real dirty in Arrakis. You can also be real red because, I mean, listen, you're going to be in the sun the whole time. And then you can do dark circles if you want to throw that touch of realism in. Yeah, I know. That's me. I'll throw the dark circles on. Moving on, hair. So this is a point where I feel they've improved a little bit as well. I mean, I don't feel they've improved. They have improved a little bit as well. They threw a bunch of the hairstyles from the female side of things onto male and vice versa. But I'm going to be straight about this. They still really aren't very much perfectly hitting the mark for the male hairstyles. Now, it's a Dune game. It's the Dune world. There is obviously going to be a predefined set of hairstyles that they would want to put in here that make sense for the universe and so on and so forth. But I still believe that they can do better with the short styles. They have some nice ones. They have, like, honestly, there are some decent short styles here, but they can do better. There's a lot more that they can still go for. And it's just a case of having more, I think. They have enough. This is fine. Like, it's fine. But I still always, with hair, I believe you make your biggest impact with hair. Okay? And I mean, I like what they have. Again, I'll say it multiple times. I'll keep saying it. But I just think that they could always throw in some more. And I think that the hair system that they have in place is actually good enough to support cool stuff, you know? I also like, by the way, that they've thrown the names on here. This wasn't always here. For me, it's always an educational thing, right? So, again, I'm not complaining about the hair, but I do think that a few more short styles would be fun, and I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Not a single person out there would disagree, because it's always cool having more hair options. So, for the hair, you get to throw the hairstyle. Let's throw like a little middle part. It's, this is probably my favorite hairstyle for males in this whole thing. And then let's look at the colors. This is I think, one of the biggest wins for this system. I really like the color choices that they have here, because they have a wide variety, and this is like I would say on the most impressive side of things for this system. And I also like the way that it applies, because oftentimes they have nice colors in games like this, and you click the button, you have the color on your character, and you're like, hey, wear color, because like, man, sometimes it just doesn't, you know. I also think that they fixed up a few of the issues that I had with the blonde, where it might have been just a lighting thing, but I felt like the blonde initially did not look quite as blonde as it should have, and it's looking better now. So yeah, and then for the colors specifically down here, I believe that they've done some exciting stuff with it, you know. You can throw some nice colors on here, and it looks good. They're beautiful. They are just beautiful. Like, this blue, to me, just, it's everything. It's great. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be boring, and I'm going to take the black, because the facial hair, to be perfectly honest with you, does look quite good with the darker colors. We'll get back to it, maybe. I like the eyebrows. And I think that this, I'm not 100%, but I think that this has also been improved upon a little bit, because you can zoom all the way in, and you can see it actually looks relatively decent. Like, these are just textures that they've thrown on here. And like, yeah, you could complain about that if you want, but to be perfectly frank, it looks good. Like, the textures are good, and they've got a decent selection. The one thing I immediately noted was, hey, wait, no notched brow. But don't worry, guys, if you are here just like me looking for your notched brow, it's there. It's there. Don't worry, it's just in a different place. We'll get there. You can change the eyebrow color. I'm going to put it on black just to match the hair. It's the same as the hair color options. And then eyebrow details, you can change the angle on it a little bit to looking a little bit like Patrick Dempsey here. We've got some McDreamy going on. We'll put it on there. Let's go like half McDreamy. There we go. The height, a little bit lower, a little bit higher. I'm going to put it a little bit lower. We're going full Patrick Dempsey. Here we go. If you don't know who that is, Google it and you'll see this face. There you go. Now, the beards. I actually think that they did good. It's not something I often say. Like, you know, when I come to beard options in a character creator, my first words are not they did good. Like, I don't usually say that. There's always some complaint or other. There is one single complaint that I have, and I'll get to it in a moment, but like, I just want to focus for a second on this. This is probably, and like, it's a whole lot of nothing, right? But it's still probably one of the most impressive showings of stubble that I've seen in a video game. Because it's looking realistic. It's subtle, but it's definitely as satisfying as you want it. Like, look at it. Just look at it. It's this incredibly fine stubble, right? It's like a freshly shaved stubble, right? And I don't think I've seen this in games as often as I'd like. You can go for a slightly bigger one. This one doesn't look quite as good. It doesn't look quite as good. They've gone a little hard on it, but that one is excellent. I know, right? I'm saying this about like literally nothing. Then One of the things I'm very impressed about here is the fact that they actually have varieties of types of hair. Like you've got the curly, sort of more bunched up style here. I'm not sure what the different how you pronounce it. And then you've got the straighter hair as well. I think it's curly versus straight, right? So curly versus straight. And then they've even got a different texture on the straight down here, which I'm just impressed by. Like this is it's quite cool. Let me just change the color quickly so it matches. Sorry. There you go. It's quite cool. It's actually incredibly well done. Then we got like a really nice, I call this the walrus mustache. Oh, it is the walrus. Okay. Yeah, excellent. I had the right name. Then we got the handlebar over there. And these all look quite impressive, especially when you zoom in and you look at the different strands of hair there. Like, you know, it's kind of crazy to me. Like, you zoom in on this and you think to yourself, man, this mustache alone has more like polygons or pixels or whatever you want to call it than an entire game did like 10 years ago. So it's quite cool. It's quite nice. This is quite a nice sort of short style as well. I think that a lot of these are kind of impressively done. And we are fast approaching my only complaint, right? You'll see in just a moment. This one looks quite cool too. There you got more of the curly styles. And that brings us to my complaint. Where the heck are the big beards? That's it. I'm done complaining. I'm finished with my complaint. I have lodged it. It is formally out there. I just want bigger, more hair. Swear to God, I watched the Dune movie and there were lots of guys with these like massive beards, you know, massive. So give me more, okay? But anyway, yeah, that's still cool. Look at this pretty guy we've made here. So face tattoos, next port of call. The tattoos and the scars. I like the tattoos and the scars. You can change the age. If it's a younger tattoo, it's darker. If it's an older tattoo, it's a more faded look. I like the face tattoos. I think that they're cool. I will say this, as I said in my previous video, because this has not changed. They just need more. That's it. My reasoning for saying that, you might argue and say, well, Lerm, this is a good amount. You've got enough here. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, sure, okay. But the problem is that the cool ones, the good ones, people are all going to pick the same ones, you know. It's like, can I tell you, people are going to pick the same ones. You're going to have a lot of people running around with the exact same markings, or no markings, because they're not a big fan of, I don't know. But like, I feel some of them are just cooler than others, and because of that, yeah, you need more. You need variety. If you're going to be giving people this, or alternative, I realize it's not really a thing, but you could do the color. I don't really think it makes sense in Dune. It doesn't fit the law of the game, but just throw a few more in here, or allow us to modularly change them, you know? Modular options. Take this one, for example, remove the sidelines, or take this one, remove the middle, or take even a fine one like this, and then let us remove half of the inscription and leave the other half. You know, that kind of stuff. That's an easy way of doing it if you don't want to add more designs. But still, I believe that they're nice. They're fantastic. I love them for the lore and because of how they look. But I do believe more would be cool. The body tattoos, even more. That's it. It's like they're really cool. But it's like there's 5. What are you going to do with 5? Everyone's going to have the goddamn little celestial markings and that's it. You know? Some guys might go for the wire. Some dudes might go for the little digital diamonds. But like, what the heck, man? That's it. They should add more. There you go. Scars. I actually really like the scars in this game. You got some markings on the face here. It's like burn marks and stuff like that. The scars, if you set the scar depth all the way, you can see it. It's a more realistic scar, where you can sort of see it like that, and it does make your notches in the brow if you want them. I like the scars. I think they look good. There's really no complaints here. I could ask for more. I suppose. I suppose. I'm just gonna keep asking for more. I'm so sorry. Then we're gonna move on to makeup. The makeup styles are actually kind of cool. We're gonna just pull the strength up. Yeah, we got the strength up. Makeup styles are actually kind of cool. They look nice, and I really have little else to say. They're cool. There's enough here. It's good stuff. I believe I can make them darker. It doesn't look like it's the darkest right now. I'm not 100%. Let's just check. That's the color. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so for the colors, you see this is the eyeshadow color. So it's not the color of the liner. It's the color of the shadow. Some cool stuff you can do with this, to be honest. I really like the red and the black. It's my favorites. Like, as an example, the red looks kind of sick. Then you can do the shadows opacity. Then you can do the eyeliner color, which once again can just allow you to go wherever you want with it. Generally, I like the eyeliner on black, and you can also do the strength of it there. There you go. Then we can do some lipstick. Lipstick styles are relatively nice. I think that they're cool. There's nothing to complain about here either. There's a decent selection overall, and I would say that you're probably going to be able to find something you like. Some of these look a little weird. It's like it's very busy for lipstick, but others just look really cool and very Dune. So I'm a fan, and I think that they've done good with it. The color, let's just pick a darker one quickly. I'm going to pull all of these up, and then I'll show you quickly. Let's take a style that is nice and thick, like this one, and then I'll show you the strength. That's just your opacity. The gloss, that's the shininess, and the metallic is, well, it's the metallic. It gives it a different sheen entirely. For the colors, there's actually a lot of cool colors here. I'm going to show it to you quickly with metallic on and then with metallic off. The metallic sort of reflection that it puts on there does change things somewhat. Not a lot, but somewhat. There you go. The gloss also changes it somewhat, but that's basically just a little bit of shininess. There you go. I probably won't be using the lipstick on this dude. Not that I have much of a style going here, but yeah, I think he looks pretty good. I don't know. I think he looks pretty okay. And that does actually bring us to the end of the options for the male. So we're going to actually jump back now. That's our male character, looking good, looking smart, I would say. And now we're going to jump onto the female. Here we are. Our first port of call is going to be the voices. Prepared to be whelmed. Yeah, that's literally it. There you go. That's the voices. Okay, so for the body options, I have a lot to say about it. I suppose I believe that the height slider over here, which is more of a size slider, is quite cool. It's impressive. It's nice. It works well. But I don't really like most of the other stuff that they have here. I do believe that the thickness sliders work a little better on the female characters than they do on the male characters. But I still think that they are not all that impressive overall. And I think that they should allow you to have a more natural movement and expansion and contraction of the body. It just doesn't look all that natural when they get bigger or smaller. It's like if you go for the maximum size on everything here, like, what is this? What is this? What is this? You know? And then this, like, what the heck are we even looking at? Barely anything changed. You know, so I think that they could, and again, I don't like, is it an indie game? I guess it could be considered an indie. Like, I wouldn't shit on them for this. Like, it's fine. There's an okay amount of options here, but the body options just seem like an afterthought. And I understand that most of these games, they don't want to really make so much extra work for themselves, because if they put the maximum amount of body options in, then you're going to have a bad time with armor and stuff like that, clip in and whatever. But I mean, like, as an example, the chest size barely does anything. For me personally, no problem. I'm probably going to go for the smallest one anyway. But for other people, that might be a bit of a no-go. The other options here, they also just don't do that much. That's probably my biggest complaint of this system, is just the body options. That's it. Like, there you go. Yeah. Skin tones. Decent options here. I like these. I think that they have definitely done well enough, especially for Dune. And I would say, you know, maybe a little darker and on the cooler tone of dark, but we play in a Dune game, we're in the desert all the time, you don't need cool tones really. It's probably just a genetic thing, you know, they didn't evolve that way or whatever. Okay, that pigmentation doesn't exist here. Then you have the two pale tones, and these are for, like, if you want to make those pale, scary, creepy looking Harkonnen-y type dudes. It's cool, it's nice. Then we have the vitiligo slider. I feel it looks quite good. They've done well with it. There you go. You can also show it on the lower. There you go. On the looks good. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't know what is looks good with this. I don't know, but it looks okay. Freckles. I feel they are okay. They're fine. I would have liked to have put them, just over here. I mentioned that on the male side of things. I'll leave some freckles on because why not? And that's it for the body options. So it's not a lot, but there is quite a lot of face options. So we at least have that. For the faces, these are all the faces that were used in the presets. So you can take one of these faces and you can create the presets by just going through the options and lining them up in the way you want them. Good faces, I believe, and this is something that's been improved upon, I believe, also, where the faces and the aging have been made a lot better. It just looks nice. They've done well with it. The age slider actually feels much more natural, which is weird to me again, because I feel the body options are unnatural, but then all this stuff for the face here actually looks quite good. They've done well with the face. I am impressed by the face. It's cool. The age slider is excellent. It's really well done. Then moving on, head details. The sliders here are hit or miss, where you can see this moves the jaw quite a bit, and this one moves the height of the jaw quite a bit. But some of them, especially in the future menus that we're going to get to, they just don't hit home like these do. And it's okay. I think that they didn't want the characters to all be, because a lot of people make joke characters, they make funny characters, and let me just put it out there and say it straight how I feel. It should be fine. You shouldn't care what people make their characters look like. Let them have fun, but if they wanted the game to look more attractive, if they wanted all the characters to look slightly attractive, then I guess this is what you'd have to do. You'd have to limit people a little bit. So there are limitations in place, and even if you pull everything all the way to one side or the other side, it doesn't do all that much. But yeah, I mean, the options are still decent, so that's the most important part. Eye colors, good options here, nice. They went hard on the browns and the greens. I don't know why, but it's cool. And then they didn't really keep it grounded firmly in reality, of course, because we're in the Dune universe here. So you got reds and the yellows and the blacks and the purples. It's cool. It's nice. There's good eye colors here. Let's go for a nice green. I dig that. Then you can also do the sclera tint, which I kind of enjoy. You can even go just some of the way to make it look sort of more gray than black. Very nice if you want that demonic look. It's cool. Yeah. Eye details. You can do the iris size. Pupil size. We can't zoom in for this. I just tend to not zoom in for this because I think that the view is it's like it makes me a little claustrophobic when I zoom all the way in. And it doesn't give you a good look at how it looks on the face. So I love that you can zoom in all the way, but big eyes, small eyes, the squint, yeah, very nice. There you go, the angle, the height. And then the depth. It's cool. It's cool. Good options. That's fantastic. Nose details. Can do the overall size. The nose tip. Not much movement there. Protrusion. The angle. The height. The bridge height. The bridge width. Let's bring it to the front so you can see it. These are good. The nose options are nice. I have nothing to complain about here. Nothing. There you go. The mouth, actually also alright. They don't really allow much in terms of the angle here. You can sort of half smile, half frown. It's okay. You can do the height over here. The width. Decent movement there. And then the depth, which is in and out. Okay. Our final set of options, skin blemishes. Make yourself look dirty. Red, which is sort of it's a kind of a weird suntan, but it's a suntan, I suppose. And then dark circles you can also go for. There you are. Now on to the hair. I'm going to leave the color like it is for now. I'll show you what we've got for hair. I like the hair system in this game. I like the way it looks. I like the way they've presented all of it. And I like that they have names and stuff here. A lot of this I just like. There's nothing else to say about it. I mentioned on the male side of things, I would have preferred a few more styles, perhaps for the shorter ones. Maybe even some more longer styles. There's a good amount for female characters. I think you've got a decent amount. There are a few that are very samey, like these ones over here. but they're still okay, you know? They look good, and I think that I would have liked to have seen like a nice little mohawk. I would have liked to have seen like a full-on afro. There's a few things that I think that are just missing, and again, a few shorter styles, you know? A few more. But initially when they made this character creator, they actually didn't have a lot of these sort of dready styles, and they also didn't have all the styles shared between male and female, so that's a point that they've improved upon vastly, and I'm a fan of that, so kudos to them. But this is still one place where I think they can do a little bit more. Not necessary, but they could do a little bit more. It's cool. It's cool. So yeah, I mean, I still like them a lot though. I think that they've done well. For the purposes of this video, I will just take the ponytail so that we can... well, it's not so great looking at the colors on the ponytail. Let's look at the colors on here. Let's look at the colors, and then we'll take the ponytail again so we can see the markings. I think that makes sense. Hair color. Probably one of my favorite parts of this character creator. I do believe the hair colors are really nice. I think some people... I've seen some complaints. People saying, oh, you know, they'd like to work on highlights. They'd like to throw some you know, extras in with the hair, but I believe the hair looks good enough as it is, and I believe that the options that they have are plentiful enough. There's really no complaints, right? There's really no complaints. I like the reds that they have. I mean, I like all the browns. Like, the browns and the blondes and stuff look nice, and then these colors are just phenomenal. They're great. They're great. I'm glad that they gave us these colors, and they could even give us a little bit more, like a few more exciting colors. But it's good. It's good. Let's just go with this one. There you go. I'm going to take the style over again to like the ponytail because I believe we want to see the face. But that looks nice, right? I mean, a lot of the colors, in my opinion, just look kind of cool. Eyebrows. Some good eyebrow styles to choose from here. There it is. And obviously no brows. You can do the eyebrow color, same as the hair colors. Beard. You can throw the beards on the ladies. I am just going to go through this very briefly. If you want to look at the beards in full, go to the male side of things. It's all there. Thumbs up for this, I think. I would say thumbs up. It's like there's no reason not to have it, but there you go. Beard colors are the same as the hair, and you are done. All right, so I like the hair. There's really not much more to say. I'm a fan of what they've done. Now for the face tattoos, for the tattoos in general, I will put out there the fact that I personally believe they are fantastic. They're phenomenal. They're great. But I think that they need a little bit more, and if they can't add more options, for some reason I can't click on this one. If they can't add more options, then what they could do is they could allow us to move them, to change the scale, the size. They could allow us to fiddle around with them a little bit more. Because I think that a lot of the characters out there are going to have the same quote-unquote cool tattoos on them, the cool markings on them, and we're going to be stuck with seeing those everywhere. Yeah, for whatever reason, this one is not allowing me to click on it. I did see it on the male side, so if you want to see that one, it's just a little mark on the lip. It's nothing special. But weird. Yeah. So I think that they're nice, but I do think that it would be cool if they gave us maybe some modular options with them, maybe just option to shift them around or flip them or something. Like this one, for example, you could easily just flip to the other side, you know? Just a few options for a few of them would be cool, so that we could have a little bit of differentiation between the different people, especially with the body options. The body options especially are like, there's like 5 tattoo options here, and they look nice, and they're very Dune-y, but like, it's just 5 options. And I don't know if this is part of some master plan where they're going to want to sell them in a store or something like that. I don't know. Oh, now I can't click on this one. Jeez, I might have discovered a bug. Alright, so for the tattoo age, basically, it just changes the opacity of the tattoos. There you go. Pretty cool. The scars, they look quite nice. Well, nice isn't really the word, but they look good. Okay, so it's actually doing it with every one of these. I'm going to go back quickly, and hopefully it'll fix it. It did. There we go. they look realistic and kind of scary, actually. A little grisly and gross, in a good way. I mean, I think it's well done. Like, if you're looking for a scar, you want it to look like a scar, right? So for the face tattoo, this is the one we missed. I'll go back quickly and see if I can show it to you. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's it. Next up's the makeup. So the makeup is interesting. I want to actually take that tattoo off because we're going to have a bit of lipstick going there. It's this one. It's this one that keeps giving us problems. There we go. Makeup's cool. I like the options that they have available here. There's not a lot in terms of color that you can change. Like, there isn't different. You can do the eyeliner and the eyeshadow. And it's enough, but it's not super comprehensive. I like the styles a lot though, and I believe that they give us enough to mess around with. So as an example, we'll take this one, and then I'll show you how the options work. You can do the strength on the eyeshadow, more or less, and then you can do the color. That's just on the eyeshadow, and once again, this one I cannot click on. There you go. It's, I want to say it's not an important color, but I know you guys. You're going to want to see that color. There you go. So black. Then, as I mentioned, the strength. And then the eyeliner color, it's the same kind of thing where you change in just the eyeliner. I can't believe this. At least I figured out how to show it. Just the eyeliner itself. Generally, it's kind of hard. It's something that you're going to have to be quite skilled at doing if you want to try and mix and match colors here. You can do it, for sure. And then you can do the eyeliner strength. In this case, it doesn't really matter all that much. Lipstick styles. Again, this one. Let's go through them first. Although, in this case, I'm not even going to bother. That one's just the same. The lipstick is cool. I really like these interesting and different designs that they have down here. Again, I look at it and I think to myself, it's very Dune. So, personally, I would probably go for, like, this one. Match it with that. It's like you took the parts out of the eyes and put it on the lips. Right? Then, for the lipstick, you got a whole selection of colors over here. Although, I think probably I should take one of these ones so I can show you the colors. There you go. This one doesn't allow us to click it. Very interesting that it has this weird bug. There you go. I like the black, obviously. Then you can do the strength on the lipstick, but you can also do the gloss, which looks really good, and the metallic, which looks even better. I love it. It's incredibly well done. The metallic does change the colors somewhat. It makes them look a little more shiny, a little more metallic. And I dig that. I think it's, once again, incredibly nicely done, and you can get some pretty cool effects with it, right? So, I'm a fan, and I think that it is probably one of the stronger points in the character creator. So, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. For the purposes of this video, it doesn't really matter what we take. We have seen basically everything now. And with that bringing us to the end, I will say that our final step will be to accept a character and jump on through to the class and background options. I'm a little disappointed that there's no randomize. It would be cool to randomize because I think that there are a lot of interesting options that could be cycled through to give us, you know, a decent look at what's available. My character showcase video can give you that if you want to see it. It's linked below. But that's one thing I think is definitely missing. With that said, however, let's jump in and I will show you what the class, background, and other goodies look like. You enter a name over here. I'll be Lurm. And we were going to go with, so this is an option basically. You have a guided journey as you jump through. So I would say I will lock it because what it does then is it keeps everything hidden from you and it slowly over time expands your research menu and gives you access to things as you discover it. It makes a lot of sense if you are just playing for the first time. So we do that. Let's go.
Have they told you what I am? Then I will sift your words for lies. Let's begin. Where were you born?
Right, so straight up, you have your background options here. You choose in your home world, right? And this gives you a dialogue trait and a unique emote. And it also gives you a little choice over your character's story, which is cool. So first option is Giedi Prime, heavily industrialized volcanic world. The baronial seat of House Harkonnen is controlled by a network of dense urban enclaves. This gives you Deception as a dialogue trait and the Harkonnen Curse as an emote. Then we have Chusuk, rich and verdant agri world of rolling hills and river-fed valleys. The music planet is the center of culture and civility in the Imperium. That gives you dialogue trait Cultured and Chusuk music emote. Then there's Caladan, temperate but storm-racked oceanic world, the ancestral home of House Atreides, known for its relaxed agrarian lifestyle and famous vineyards. You get the honorable trait there, and you get the Atreides salute. Then we have Kaitane. Is that right? Yeah. A green and pleasant world with satellite-controlled weather. The fates of many are decided within the ornate halls of the Imperial planet. That gives you the political dialogue trait and the Kaitane bow. Then we have Ix, a forbidden ice world of mountain, tundra, and forest. The Ixians conceal their vast technological empire within sprawling underground cities. That gives you the technologist trait and the Ixian secret emote. I'll go with Ix.
The machine world. They skirt dangerously close to breaking the prescriptions of the Butlerian Jihad. The order of the Imperium is rooted in the Farfaluches. A place for every man, and every man in his place. Where is your place?
Then you get to select your caste. You get Bondsman. This is the educated caste that serves the great houses and administers imperial bureaucracy. Bondsmen are known casually as the citizen class. That gives you the Bondsman dialogue trait. Then you have Na Familia, a caste reserved for essential members of noble household or retinue. Na Familia are afforded certain privileges and protections by their status. They give you the nobility trait. Then you have Peon. Vast peasant labor force that drives the imperial engine. Peons are bound to the fief in which they live and are considered the property of their lord. So if you make a quote-unquote mistake here, you can't just press escape. She asks you, are you done? And then you say yes or you say no. So I'm going to take Peon here.
You've risen above your station. Most peons go their entire lives without seeing the inside of a starship. You had a mentor in your youth, trained by one of the schools. Who was your mentor?
Then you get to pick your mentor. This is your starting point. It's like a class, sort of. You can pick Swordmaster. Revered throughout the Imperium, Swordmasters of the fallen Genaz school still represent the pinnacle of fighting prowess in the known universe. With this, you get trained in Swordmaster, close quarter aggression. Your starting ability is knee charge. Propel yourself forward into battle with a terrific knee charge into the enemy. You can access additional skills later. Of course, that's not the only one you get. You can pick Bene Gesserit Acolyte, a shadowy all-female order with a deliberately obscure agenda. Adepts of the Sisterhood are prized by nobility and feared by the rest of the Imperium. Train in Bene Gesserit physical mastery and manipulation. That's, well, sort of like kinetic powers. And then your starting ability is Voice Compel. Use the voice to force someone towards your position from afar. Then we have Mentat, a secretive and insular organization. The Order of Mentats conditions their adherents to store and analyze vast amounts of data at superhuman speeds. For Mentat, you get recon and strategy training, and then you get your starting ability, the Sentinel. It's a suspensor buoyed dart projector that uses motion detection to cover a field of fire. It's sort of like a little turret that you can put down. And then finally, there's Trooper. Every great house of the Landsraad fields its own stand-in army or house guard, and on the backbone of these formations are the career soldiers known as troopers. They train in troopers offense and demolition, and then their starting ability is Shigawaya Claw. You shoot a barb that attaches to a surface, then rapidly pulls you towards that position. It's one of the coolest abilities, I think. It's very nice. But Mentat sounds cool for me, so I'll take that.
You must have been very young. The mind must be prepared, or the training does not take. The test is almost complete. Have you spoken truth?
So, now you either say I've spoken truth, or you wish to recant.
Where were you born?
Then she just runs through it all again. So if this time I wanted to be born in Kaitan...
The heart of the Imperium. The heart of civilization.
You get the idea. That is basically the end of it. You pick that, you jump in, you start playing. When you're done, she is going to shove your hand in the box, and I will show you that in just a moment. But first, it is time for the outro. Here in the outro, I'm going to say I'm quite impressed by the system overall. I was impressed by it before, but I'm a fan of the fact that they actually worked on it a little bit. I like the fact that they actually improved things for launch. They polished things up, and that's good. There's a lot of options. There's a decent amount of variety, especially with the facial options. The visuals are obviously good, even up close and personal. And I would say from my time spent making characters, I have very little to complain about. The one thing I can say is more of everything would be good. More body options, more hairstyles, especially for the male characters maybe. More markings and tattoos, just more options, you know, for us. A randomized option would also be kind of cool. But I do believe we have enough right now. Enough to make some good stuff and enough variety and freedom to be unique. So that's it. Yeah, I think it's cool. And I really like how the characters look in the game. When you actually jump in and you play the game, they look natural, they look like a good fit. For the most part, people seem to be quite creative with it, and it's sick. It's really, really cool. It's just, it works well. As a Dune game, to me, it works well. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching as always, dudes. You can, in fact, give this video a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. You can find my links below, and that will include my Ko-fi page, my Twitch channel, and all the rest. And I want you to tell me what you think about Dune Awakening. Not just the character creator, but the game itself. I'd love to hear from you guys. So there you go. Enjoy making those characters. Enjoy trying to tame the sands of Arrakis. Happy that.
You've come here. Kneel. Put your hand in the box. I hold at your neck the Gomjabar, the high-handed enemy. Don't pull away or you will die. Great plots are afoot in the Imperium, and the currents of intrigue run deeply. Arrakis is the key, and the Fremen are missing. You will go to Arrakis as our agent, prisoner. You have one task. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. Everything depends on this. Do you understand? Good. You speak truth. But here is the rest of it. There is only one rule. Keep your hand in the box and live. Withdraw it and die. An animal would gnaw off its own hand to escape the pain. And we can only be served by humans. Find the Fremen. Wake the sleeper. You will know when it is done.